Right, take two. Alright, take two, I think. Is this working? Wait, I see movement. Alright, let's get this ball on the road. Alright. So seems to be behaving okay. Nothing bad. Alright, I think we're good. Let's turn my little other camera back on. Okay, so let's see what we can do. Soldering iron back on. Hi! Streams bit rate. Oh, really? Hello, Karina. Alright, let's see if that's better. Okay, hooray! Alright. So, because I'm crazy, I am going to do some desocketing and adding sockets to one of my Atari 2600s. So is it close? So this is picked up today from, or yesterday actually, from someone. What is interesting is, unlike some of the other Atari 2600 Juniors, this is one of the 128 in one game boards. To give you an idea of what I'm talking about, that's a normal 2600 Junior. It's pretty straightforward. You've got processor, the TIA chip, or basically the graphics, integrated graphics sound chip, and the Riot, or the RAM input-output chip on there. Obviously the rest pretty self-explanatory. Cartridge, power stuff, and other magic. But anyway, enough of that. So what's interesting about this is one of the 128 in one boards, because she has multi switch, and you have a little, instead of the black and white switch, which is normally this, it's a flick switch, which pushes you from, basically allows you to switch between the different games on that bank. And what you can see is probably different from the other one is obviously a group of EEPROMs that have all the games on there, which, as you can probably see if I get one a bit closer, this one doesn't have. So and as a result, the processor, Riot chip, and the TIA chip are all pushed out in different spots. So this one, however, gives me a black screen, which is to say that I turn it on and it does nothing. So I'm gonna basically, instead of being able to, like some of my other boards where these are socketed, I'm gonna actually pop these off, add this on, and then I'll be able to do a little bit more sort of troubleshooting without having to fart ass around. So this is boring and slow work, but something to do. So here goes. So now just got to figure out, make sure I'm getting the right ones, because I don't want to upset them. So turn mine a little bit. Get my oops. Right there. Trusty solder sucker. And away we go. And this is, like I said, it's annoying me, boring, monotonous work that drives me utterly insane because of just how freaking tedious it is. Because it's heat up, suck, drop, and rinse and repeat. Just got to make sure that I don't, obviously, because there's a few tracks, a few things that are near it, that the last thing I want to do is damn it, melt something I'm not supposed to. Like that. And that's exactly what I don't want to do. Ugh. So I don't know if you can see it, but stupid me has got the wrong angle, and when the solder's jumped out, I've sprayed a bit on the actual track. That's right. No, we're good. Just came straight off like magic. Hooray! On the angle works here. So this is really uninteresting stuff. Like, I think this is, you know, the equivalent of just manual labour. I'm sure there are easier ways to do this sort of desoldering work, but honestly, I don't have the equipment to do it. So brute force it is. But yeah, I'm interested in this because originally I was just going to get this and basically composite mod it. So whack some RCAs on and then just clean it up and probably find a new home for it. But I don't have a 128-in-1 board, so I am very, very eager and keen to actually try and resurrect this, because while the games aren't fantastic, it's one of those things where it warrants having it as a secondary system because of the fact that, well, it's unique. A bit more salt on there just to make my life easier. This board is filthy. I probably should have tried to clean it down beforehand. Yeah, Corinna, you can. They are Australian. They're actually an Australian only release. There are a few bootlegs and stuff out there, but this is an official official Atari release. That came fairly late in the console's lifespan. I think it was around the early 90s, like 92, 93, probably earlier. Don't quote me. But yeah, it basically came with 120 odd games, and it was packaged with a controller and stuff. But by this point, everyone had either jumped ship to the Super Nintendo, or the Nintendo, the NES was pretty much in full flight as well. So this was at that stage a 14-year-old console that they were basically trying to make money out of. Dead horse, flogging, that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Alrighty, so nearly done the second row now. Damn it, didn't quite get that right. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, so now, sorry about that. Where are we? So what I'm going to do is, once I've finished cleaning this up and getting the chip off, I'm going to go through. I'll do all three first, and then I'm going to come back, just give the tracks, give things a bit of a clean up, just to make sure I haven't destroyed anything in the process, and then get to the fun business of socketing it. Okay, yeah. Get out of the rotten thing. Alrighty. So I can't get. Fortunately, I've got to get this camera. I've got to get this camera to zoom in a bit better, because it's still a little bit far away to really see what I'm doing. But honestly, it's probably not really that much exciting to watch, because heat the pan up. Suck solder off, rinse, repeat. It's not quite watching grass grow, but yeah. And this is also good practice, because I've got some Commodore 64s I want to do soon as well, and I'm gonna be a little bit trickier, I think. So. Or more of it, I'm not sure which one it is. Oh yes, Chris. So you can mock my soldering technique live for a change. Bastard. Yeah, I don't know, Corinna, this one's This one's pretty tame, right, Chris? You go and check out some of the other systems, like even the SNES. The SNES is a monster of a thing to deal with because you've got teeny tracks to deal with, and honestly, I feel like ending myself every time I have to deal with one of them. Now, I think. Alright, no, I'm going to go through and do the rest now, and then don't know if it's easier to use a bit of flux on there. I don't know if it's better to use a bit of flux over the pins or just keep the iron clean and tinned a little bit, but yeah, this is painful work. Things we do. The pen, yeah, Karina, that is flux. Let's try and, because you know this is what, 30-year-old, 20-year-old solder. Yeah, so that's it. Oh dear. Okay, damn it. The real fun's going to be when time comes to get this bastard out. That, I'm sure, will involve lots of swearing, because that helps. Swearing always helps. Let's go. No one wants me. P. Kingston. Nope. It's alright. It's going to be rude. Oh, for fuck's sake. A little bit more. Sometimes I feel like it'd be good if I could slightly better setup, but well, the little Dick Smith unit does the job well enough. Oops. Now, a toothbrush comes in handy. Yeah, that's pretty much what I learnt when I first started, when I did my first master system, because the leg that you've got to lift to do the 5060 mod is a righteous prick to get up. So yeah, that's where I was taught that yeah, mixing a bit of new solder with old solder is a really good way to get the bastards up. Like this one. There we go. That's better. I'm sure this is scintillating work. I feel like I should have a video on in the background or something. But yeah, that'd require effort. Oh man, YouTube keeps whinging at me that I'm playing with my new camera. Oh, keep your pants on, Chris. So Karina, what I'm doing, right, just quickly I'll show you. So see these, these chips, so the processor and stuff like that. See how they're firmly fixed to the board, so I can't easily remove them. So they're soldered on, basically permanently attached. What I'm going to do is pop them off, so take them out and actually put a socket in, which then will let me take the let me basically take the chip in and out as I need to. So give you an idea, here's one I prepared earlier. So that's a different type of 2600. Yeah, so pretty much just all I'm doing is just this is helping with fault finding, because generally with these things, it's normally either one of these ICs, or something simple like voltage. At least all the ones I've fixed of late, it's been one of these three bastards that's been broken. So, but yeah, that's it. Just a case of then I can just easily pop in there so you can see it. Yeah, so I can just simply pop them in and out as I need to. So much easier and much better for troubleshooting and stuff. Like I said, old stuff like this, it's easier to do. It's much easier to do this with it. If it was dealing with a SNES or an N64 or something much newer that has the teeny tiny stuff, you can keep that shit. Right, Chris? Don't mind me. Okay, so where were we? Iron. Which track was up to? This one. Yeah. I have to say, I do like having a like having a webcam with a tripod. The new toy is nice. Alright, that's that row done, I think. Yep. Yeah, just for a sec. Do this crap. I think someone's had a go at this before. Says the board is really dirty. Looks like there's flux residue or something all over it. But alrighty. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Don't mind me, I'm just being rude. Huh. Cool. It's alright. Just seeing, I thought I had a message. Yeah, oh, you're right, Chris. It could be that way from the factory. In fact, it's also entirely possible that it is that way from the factory. I've certainly seen some pretty questionable things, especially with 2600s, that they come from so many different places. I think it was once I was told that effectively every model 2600 is built slightly differently. You know, that the components would have, came from so many different parts of the world, and they use so many different suppliers that the behaviour on one system is often not the same on another. There's evidence. I think it was the time I met one of the local ex-Beam / Melbourne house guys who lives down here, who was programming Boulder Dash for the 2600, and pretty much I gave him a couple of systems and even showed me a bug that existed on one variant of the hardware I gave him, which was a junior, which was completely different to behaviour on a different junior. So these things are, you know, lowest common denominator, cheapest components they could manage, and mass produced to the nth degree. So bastard. Yeah, see, I don't know, Chris. I'd argue that while you're right, like, you know, I'm pretty sure that the masses, you know, back when Atari first put the first VCS together, that yeah, they were only meant to be a, you know, couple of years, and then look, we've got a new thing for you. But I don't know, it's something about the whole just build quality and stuff, that they are actually pretty robust little units. Commodore, on the other hand, oh god, Commodore is just, ugh, yeah. You got to look at the power supplies, right? Huh. And yeah, you're right. Learning to solder is great, except for the part where you then end up spending more time fixing stuff than you do playing with stuff, or building stuff, or okay, here we go. A bit of speed up, bit of pace up now. Solder here is not too bad. Okay, last one for down the bottom anyway. And alright, so oops, I missed one over here. How do I do that? Requires a special sort of special. Oh, you bastard thing. I thought I got you back. Whoops. There we go. Let's get everything up here, nearly. All right. Right, so now, in theory, should be able to get the bottom ones off. So, let's see what we can do. And okay. Now, see if I can get my problem I've got is getting the chip remover in under here. It's going to be interesting because you can probably turn that way. You got a teeny tiny little resistor that sits in there, and it's right in the wrong spot. So this might make life interesting. But what I might do instead is just use the soldering iron to gently poke the pins through, rather than trying to pull from the other side, just without burning myself, of course. Up enough. Oops, don't slip. bastard thing. Oh. Yeah, actually, Chris, that's not a bad plan either. No, I don't have my little thing. One thing I like about having a smallish office is all of my tools are in very quick reach. Ah, teeny tiny screwdriver. Alrighty, so let's go back and try this again. So if I can just get, turn it around so you can actually see what I'm doing. Just gonna the best way to get an angle on this, yeah, there maybe. No. So if I get this under here, if it'll let me, just move the legs a little bit. This is going to be a bitch. Oh God, this is going to be a bastard. There we go. Okay. A little bit of leverage on. Just try and heat these pins up. Just a little bit at a time. She does not want to come up. Okay. I'll just knock my third hand over. That's okay. Worst case scenario, I'll just remove the resistor, I guess, and put it back later. It's probably just as easy, right? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of pushing pins because it's, seeing as I have to resocket these later. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the socket's going to fit. The Jayco, the ones I'm using are pretty good fit. As it is, I think I'm going to have to cut this to fit the processor. Although I'm not entirely certain it's going to be a CPU problem because I know from past experience. Yeah, if I flip it around. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be okay on that front. As long as I cut, we have to cut it, but yeah, I'll be fine. Interesting. Try and do it this way so I get a little bit of better leverage there. There we go. There we go. That's better. Now $5 says I'm going to snap something here, so I will probably swear and say some very not nice things, but That's okay. I'm not trying to monetize this in any way, so I don't want to. No, I don't want to push this too hard. Just double check to make sure. It doesn't help. Probably could get the braid out, I guess, but I don't think it's going to help me all that much. Obviously the other thing I want to avoid here, if at all possible, is wrecking the solder pads, because that will make life very unpleasant. There we go. I think that's got it. Let's try this again, shall we? Yeah. What I need is better lighting in here by a long shot. I'll do something a bit. Just try and get this in the right spot. There. Left-handed soldering. What could possibly go wrong? Go. Slowly but surely. Yeah. Oh look, and nothing broke. Hooray! Okay, that's one done. Now let's make sure. No, that's pretty good. Alrighty, so put that up there for now. Oh, stretch back a bit. Let's get into number 2. So same. Yeah, I have to use the screwdriver again to start getting this up. I feel like I should be using my third hand or my what do you call that thing, PCB holder, but honestly I don't actually think it's going to help me much. This is tricky, shitty work. Oh yeah, isn't it just? That is. I need a vise, Chris. That's actually on the agenda. I have the PCB holder, but obviously she doesn't lock. To be honest, Karina, I don't. But at the same token, it yeah. Put this up here because it seems to be where I sit up to. At the same token, I'm only holding it on for a couple of seconds at a time on things, so I'd have to have the iron turned up pretty hot and in the wrong in the wrong spots to really do damage. And the only time I've actually damaged anything was on purpose, when I was mucking around with a busted busted SNES, and thought I'd see if I could get a processor off. Let's just say I didn't. Okay, so as before, let's try and loosen these up a little bit. That's better. Yeah, you generally you've got it on just long enough to make the solder go molten, and then the moment that happens, you've got a couple of seconds to do what you need to do, and then get it off again. You're never sort of going to hold it on unless it's like really, really stubborn stuff. But even then, as long as I don't damage the track, it's not too bad. But damage the track, yeah. Oh, let's not cross that one. Damn it. Down there. I'm just trying to get these pins, because there's some of these that aren't quite straight up. Okay, so this is so mind-numbing. If I haven't already said that 1,000 times. Alright. Yeah, Karina, I don't know if I had, I don't know if I've got the picture from when I did it the other day. Hang on, see if I can find it. Let's have a look here. There's the thread. Now, why did I do that? I'll show you, to give you an idea of sort of that SNES fun time. I think Chris saw this the other day. This is not super awful work of mine, but back to YouTube. So, give you an idea, Karina. This is, let's have a order, bring to top. So that's a board that I picked up the other day. That's a Super Nintendo. If you have a look just below the D in Nintendo, on that chip at the top, so the SDSP or the sound chip, you can sort of see there's a track chip, the pins and track that runs out of there that basically was cooked. So specifically, I mean, you can't see my mouse, but if you look at the bottom chip, the chip that's at the bottom, you can just see a faint Sony on. Count 4 in from the top left of that chip, you'll see a tiny little track that runs up, So that leg is basically shot, something's corroded or whatever. So that ended up being that. So while it doesn't look like much, what I've actually had to do there is this is all surface mounted. So what I'm working with here is through hole. So basically the legs just go through the hole. It's a two-sided board. There is nothing complicated here. This is a lot harder, and so having to actually get that leg warm enough to lift it off the board without damaging anything nearby, which is tricky because you've only got about a millimetre or two to play with. And then getting a patch wire to basically just repair the track instead. So a little bit trickier than just simply heating up stuff and wiggling it a bit. Now back to heating stuff up and wiggling it. Okay, so let's go to this again, shall we? I think I am tomorrow. I am going to go and use some of the money that I've got sitting in my kitty, and I'm going to go buy myself a clamp because my life would be so much simpler if I had a clamp. Huh, talented? No, this is that's amateur hour stuff, Karina. Honestly, it's just my head. I'm not an electrician by any capacity, but I just fault find. That's my thing. If I can see it and I can figure it out, that's kind of what I do. Let's get that out of the road. Put that back for a second. Let's crap off the end. Can I get this underneath? Yes, I can. Oh, Jesus. I think anyone can do a better job than Dujan. Bloody hell. And Karina, if you don't know who he is, I'll send you a link later on to give you an idea, just so you know who we're talking about. Let's just say he's a fella that likes to use a lot of oh, shut up, Tim. I nudged it. Hang on. Let me get it out of the road because it's in the wrong spot. And this only has a short lead. Okay, so yeah, alright. Oh crap, I just realised I don't know where my braid is. That's going to be a problem. Now I'm working from this end. Try this again. Just trying to see if I can heat this leg up enough to push the little bastard through. This is going to break my balls, isn't it? Try and clean it up again. I really need a screwdriver with a thinner head, but I don't own one. This transistor is in the road. So, this is annoying. Alright, plan B. Brute force. Oh, this is a right prick. Oops, that wasn't meant to happen. So, let's get that back under there again, like that. Do I just try and melt some plastic? I don't know. A solder tool? No, I don't. Nor do I have... Oh, actually... Stanley knife. I mean, what's the worst could happen? I cut myself? Huh? Oh wow, I have a email from someone trying to flog me. Oh no, yeah, I definitely don't have one of those, Chris. You know, my tools are primitive, and I need to spend money on actually go and spend money on some of my tools to improve what I'm doing, seeing as I'm doing enough to probably warrant having some nice gear. Turn around a bit so you can see better. Yeah. No, it's not going to work. Alright, hang on a sec. Let's see if I can. See if I can find me my solder braid. Up here, I don't have any. That's frustrating. really frustrating. I don't know where my solder braid's gone. Oh. Ha! On the ground. That's not in a helpful place. Right next to the broken GameCube and busted Amstrad CPC and stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to probably burn myself with this because I always burn myself with this. Okay, so again, just going to, I think you can easily see what I'm doing here. Using this stuff, just copper braid. At least I think it's copper. Actually, let's see if I can help flow this again a bit. I'm going to try and see if I can get a little bit more of the solder up just to make my life easier. I also probably shouldn't be holding this with my bare hands, but you know something? There we go. The road. Yeah, normally not recommended to hold it with your bare hands because it conducts heat and it gets really hot really quickly. But as if I pay attention to that. Yeah, it's not flesh burning either. Probably should have an extraction fan actually. Just trying to breathe in too much of it because apparently lead doesn't give you superpowers. Ouch. I was just saying about getting hot. Slide around a bit. Oh, okay. So what? Just get the head through it and just sort of. Like that, you mean? Ah, of course, yeah, it can, can't it? And trace lifting is bad. There we go. Maybe we should get some clearance to do Chris at PAX. I'll get you to do some L2R retro repairs. We'll teach all the noobs how to do repairing old systems. I'm sure Yug would totally greenlight a panel that involves people holding soldering irons and stuff. get this back out again. Just put the camera. Okay, so let's do it that way. It's not the greatest angle, but at the moment I'm more concerned with just getting enough leverage on lifting this bastard than I am making good TV. God damn, this prick is stubborn. I don't like the way this sound is. This board sounds. Okay, maybe, just maybe. Let's try and. So more like that, you reckon? Just. Try again, shall we? No. Yeah, good point. Although I've got a feeling I'm going to hit a point with this very shortly where I am going to not so much give up, but let it go for the night. Give the board a rest and then come back to it tomorrow. Because at this stage I'm just as worried about damaging something, getting a little bit too forceful. Uh-oh, that's not good. So what you were just saying about pad lifting? Oop, you probably can't see it. Damn it. That shit. Oh. Oh, why this bastard's so stubborn. No, it's the most stubborn chip I've had to do, and I've done a couple of these already. You know something? I think I'm going to not so much give up. I'm going to let it sit for the night and come back to it tomorrow, because I think at this stage it's just, yeah, brute force will only get you so far, and I am no, see, that's just not, does not want to give me any ounce of lift, so no, I'm going to leave it there for now. Put that away, I will go away, look at it, clean it up some more, and then come back to it. So, cheers all.